Hey everybody, it is the Goose, and a little bit of a different video this time because why? RAD Adventure, starting tomorrow. What I want to do really was just kind of show you what I'm prepping, what I'm taking in for this trip, and what I'm not going to be able to take in, because that's a big thing right there. We'll cover the stuff I can't take in first. I am flying. The airlines want a ridiculous sum of money for a checked bag. Therefore, this will preclude ferro rods, camp saws, any form of pocket knife. I'm basically eliminating some of the most important things that I may need while I'm down there. That's where I'm hoping Josh, that's right, Josh, can pick up a little bit of slack. And I know he is. I mean, this isn't Devil's Canyon. I'm not going in for 6.5 weeks. I'm not trying to break myself getting in there and then getting out. I'm going to be taking really just limited stuff, the basics. Something to keep warm and dry, things to work with, and we're going to go over that stuff because I can't take any anti-protester methods that dispense freedom at, 100 rounds a second. Can't take that into California because they're essentially communist. And they'd probably throw me in the gulag as soon as I got off the airplane and picked up the bag and said, hey, I need to let you know I'm bringing this in here. Oh, how many rounds does that hold? Oh, it holds a lot. And they'd be like, you're going to prison for the rest of your natural life. We don't care who you are. So no pocket knives, no camp saws, no firearms. However, I know Josh is on this. He's always packing a little heat when he goes in there for any, we'll just say, unwanted guests. But first, let's just let's just get into it. First things first, my pack. This is essentially a no-name pack off of Amazon. Had decent reviews. It's a Royal Mountain. I think I paid $50 for it. It only has to last 4 days. That's it. If it does that and survives this whole trip, I might get on there and write it a righteous review or something. But it's only 50 liters. That's another limiting factor. And it's carry-on. Now, if I had my old Devil's Canyon pack, I wouldn't even need it. That thing was like 180 with everything on it. And it literally held 130 pounds of gear. I just need this to hold about 30. So, it does come with a little rain fly. You can wrap around it, which is a plus. Seals up at the top. It's got all kinds of little straps. You can probably use that for the carry handle, getting in and out of the airport. But hopefully this will do the trick. Sleeping bag. This is another Amazon purchase. Says it's rated to 35 to 40. Reviews on it said it could probably go lower than that. It's a mummy bag style, but as you can see, it's even just crushed down to a rock. And I had my stepson help me just even squish it down even further while he was pulling straps. It doesn't compress very much. It's not like what I took into Devil's Canyon. That thing was good to like 10 below and would compress down to about half this size. But there's a difference between a $40 backpack and sleeping bag and a $400 sleeping bag. Get what you pay for. Hopefully I get enough to keep me somewhat warm. And in the event it maybe gets a little cold, because I'm a Florida boy now. My blood is real thin. And I'm used to 90 degrees and 100% humidity. I'm gonna be up where during the days it's 75, 80, and 0% humidity. And to me, that might be a little, I'm not going to say chilly. It'll be, but at night, when it gets down into the 50s and 60s, that's when I'm going to be, this sucks. But hopefully this will do the trick. Sleeping mat. Now, I was going through all my stuff, and this guy right here is a bad boy. It's rated for some pretty cold weather, but I was sitting there, I was like, I don't remember my sleeping mat being so big. And I was sitting there, I was like, what the heck? All right, whatever. I threw it in the backpack, and it took up a third of the backpack. I'm like, this ain't right. This ain't mine. And then I was rooting around in my small day pack that was actually attached to my main pack when I went into Devil's Canyon. Rooting around in there. Look at what I find. There it is. That's the actual one I took in. Look at the size difference. Forgot. This is for the wife and I when we go camping ourselves. So thank God found this, because I was about to drag that in there. But sleeping mat, very important. Where I'm going to be, they work off R factors. And that's how much heat they retain. This one right here is probably going to be too much. This one is literally designed. It's what helped keep me warm on top of that sleeping bag when it got down to 0 degrees and froze overnight. I mean, it might be too much, but hey, it's better than nothing. All my clothes. Not taking a lot of clothes with me on this trip. I'm going to take a couple pairs of skivvies, a couple of t-shirts, long johns for at night, and that's going to be about it. A couple pairs of socks, but got them in a nice waterproof bag, all at Devil's Canyon. This thing will compress like you wouldn't believe. And I think that's in there now is 3 pairs of socks, 3 pair of underwear, 2 pair of underwear, a performance shirt, a couple other shirts, and long johns in there. And this thing will already compress down to pretty darn small. So that'll help me save some space. And it's waterproof in case it decides to get a little wet out there. Oh, and I'm going to be bringing a swimsuit just in case we need to swim fire across the river. Just saying. Let's see. This is another just in case. I mean, since I actually can get it on. Just in the event somebody out there gets a little exposure into that water, you're going to have to heat them up quick. And I don't plan on getting butt naked and hopping in a sleeping bag with anybody in case they get hypothermia from falling in the water. This right here is what's called a escape life bag. It is essentially coated with the same material that's on here, emergency blanket, and it's in the shape of a mummy bag, so you can stuff somebody in there, zip them up. It's not zipped, it just pulls up over around them, and it will reflect heat back into them. So, and it weighs nothing. So just a little prep, just in case. Even though I already know Josh has got this thing dialed in. He has all kinds of stuff waiting for us down there, and his boys are prepared. So they pretty much have any eventuality already penciled out, but just in case. Let's see. Small little, this is actually the same first aid kit that I had in Devil's Canyon, and you can tell because it's in Francais on the back, purchased in Canada. But this is the same one I fixed myself up with when I burned myself pretty good there at my first campsite and blistered up my hand real bad. I don't think that ever made, I don't even think that made the show. But yeah, I pretty much did field expedient burn surgery. And if you notice in a lot of the videos, I had electrical tape around, or not videos, I had some electrical tape around my hand in a few spots. When I didn't have gloves on, you'd see it. But that was from the burn. Some neoprene gloves right here. These bad boys. The only reason I'm getting these is that water in that river is ice cold. And it is, I'm going to be panning a lot because it's no machines. We're cracking bedrock down there. I'm going to have my hands in cold water. I mean, I'm going to bring them just in case, but I always end up tossing them. But you never know. Water shoes. These are Cressy 3 mils, designed to go with diving fins, but I use them anytime I'm going to be around water, especially in Florida, or if I'm going to be out metal detecting a beach, something like that where the sand's really hot. But for being out where we're going to be, this is going to be for the water in case I just decide to dangle my feet in it and chill, lay back for a while, take a break from, digging gold. That ain't going to happen. But also, Josh said specifically, bring water shoes. All of my GoPro equipment. I'm actually going to go through this and significantly trim it down. It is quite a bit of crap. Probably bring the head mount, probably bring the chest mount, and a little miniature gorilla pod. And who knows, maybe this in case it hits the water, depending on where I'm working at. And maybe a stupid selfie stick. I don't know. I got a really good one here, but we'll just have to wait and see. Probably just bring this right here, because what's cool about it, and the reason I like it, is, if I can get it to open up a little bit, there we go, is right here. This is actually a GoPro product, but not endorsed by them, because I can't even afford a GoPro. The only reason I got one, I think I got on eBay for dirt cheap. But comes with its own little tripod on here, and if I remember right, I think it'll float. So, but that'll definitely go right there. And let's see. These little guys. We are going to be hammock camping while we're out there, and these are worth their weight in gold when you're doing hammock camping stuff. These are a fast way to connect to anything. You can literally tie something around a tree, take this, and just shove it in there. The paracord or whatever you got, rope, anything. And the little teeth on here just bite right into the rope or paracord, and it holds it. I've put a significant amount of weight on these things, and they've held up every time, and they're super lightweight. So those will be going, and they'll probably be hung up on the outside of the pack so I can have stuff dangling off me, because I like to make lots of racket and look like Sanford and Son when I'm going into the woods. Let's see. Little bit of paracord. Yup. Always. And that's really about it. Now I'll get to this in a second. I was planning on bringing my stick. I don't know if you can really see it very well in there. But this was my walking stick I made while I was in Devil's Canyon. It's got all kinds of stuff on it. Thorn bushes, all stuff I carved when I get bored sitting around the fire. And I was planning on taking this thing and, you know, talking about it while we're sitting around the campfire at night and just kind of all the experiences, stuff like that. But not going to let me on the plane with it. So I was going to, I had a PVC tube I was going to put it in, then I was going to check it. Then I found out how much they wanted for a checked bag. Ugh. Pass, hard pass. It was like 35 or 40 bucks just for a tube that big around and slightly longer than the stick. So unfortunately that's gonna have to stay. Let's see, this guy right there, and you might even be able to see there's still a little bit of gold in there, but I thought I had lost this thing, my snuffer bottle, till we started moving here to the new place. Reached in an old box, and this thing was just sitting right in it. It was a box of stuff I'd never unpacked when we moved in there 2 years ago into the first house. But this one got a little good luck gold in there. Hardly any at all, but it's enough to get us started. I will be taking in my heavy duty Danners for the hike in. These things weigh a ton, but they are bulletproof. I've purchased these in 1995. So these boots are older than some of y'all's kids. They're older than all my kids, but they're expensive, but they're worth every penny, and they're still around and still kicking. So I'll be wearing those in. Last but not least, the pan. And I'm gonna try and fill this bad boy up. A lot of memories in that pan right there. But so that's really it. I'm kind of limited on some of the stuff I can take in, so that stuff has to stay. Other than that, I'm just going to start stuffing this backpack. We're ready to go. I will see you next in the Yuba River Canyon.